Ah, look who finally became the ghost in their machine. Welcome back, beautiful anomaly. Welcome back, silent witness. Welcome back to the ones who weren't supposed to hear a single word but somehow caught every syllable, every lie, every backstabbing laugh they thought was private. Yeah, I see you. Sitting there with screenshots in your chest and venom in your veins, knowing exactly what they said when they thought you weren't listening. Someone snitched, didn't they? Someone broke the sacred code of the group chat, the circle of trust, the little conspiracy they built against you. And now you know. Now you have the receipts, the timestamps, the proof that everything you felt wasn't paranoia. It was perception. You weren't losing your mind. You were reading the room better than they ever gave you credit for. Let me tell you what really happened here. They got comfortable. They got sloppy. They thought their little digital fortress was impenetrable, that their private conversations would stay buried in notifications and disappearing messages. They talked their talk, said your name with poison on their tongues, laughed at your expense, twisted your words, built entire fictional versions of you just to tear them down together. And it felt good for them, didn't it? It felt powerful to create a villain out of someone who trusted them. It gave them something to bond over, something to feel superior about. You became their entertainment, their project, their case study in how to destroy someone slowly without them knowing. Except you did know, maybe not the exact words, not yet. But you felt the shift, didn't you? You felt the energy change, the smiles that didn't reach their eyes. The inside jokes you were suddenly outside of, the way conversations stopped half a second too late when you entered the room. And they thought they were so clever. They thought they covered their tracks perfectly. They thought their alliance was unbreakable, their secrets safe, their betrayal invisible. But here's the thing about lies. They require maintenance. They require everyone to remember the same story, to keep the same energy, to never slip up. And someone always slips up. Maybe it was guilt, maybe it was ego, maybe it was someone who got cut from the circle and decided if they were going down, everyone was going down. Whatever the reason, the truth found its way to you. And now you're sitting there with information that changes everything, with evidence that confirms every instinct you had, with power they don't even know you possess yet, because right now, in this moment, you know something they don't know you know. And that is the most dangerous position you could possibly be in. You're not reacting yet, you're not confronting, you're not exploding in rage or breaking down in tears. No, you're doing something far more terrifying. You're watching, you're listening, you're studying every move they make now with the clarity of someone who knows the truth. Every fake smile they give you, you see through it. Every lie they tell to your face, you catalog it. Every performance of friendship, you recognize it as exactly that, a performance. And the wild part is, they have no idea. They're still playing the game thinking you're blind, thinking you're naive, thinking you're the same person who trusted them before. But you're not that person anymore. That person died the moment you saw those messages. That person was cremated in the heat of betrayal. And what rose from those ashes is something they should be terrified of. Because here's what they don't understand about people like you. You're not the type to make noise. You're not the type to cause scenes, or beg for explanations, or give them the satisfaction of knowing they hurt you. No, you're the type that goes quiet. Dangerously quiet. the type that watches and waits and calculates and remembers everything. You're building a case in silence, collecting evidence like a detective, noting every contradiction, every lie, every moment they pretend to care while the group chat says otherwise. And they're so comfortable in their deception, so confident in their betrayal, that they don't even notice you've changed. They don't see the way you look at them now, like you're studying insects under glass. They don't feel the shift in your energy, because they were never really paying attention to you in the first place. You were just a character in their story, a supporting role in their narrative, something to talk about when they got bored. But now, the script has flipped. Now you're not the subject of their conversations. You're the author of what comes next. And they have no idea what you're writing. Should you confront them? Should you expose them? Should you screenshot everything and burn their reputation to the ground? Should you quietly distance yourself and let them wonder what happened? Should you pretend you never saw anything and use the information strategically when the time is right? The options are endless, and they're all in your hands now. You hold their credibility, their friendships, their carefully constructed image in your palm like a grenade with the pin half pulled. And the best part? They're still talking. They're still gathering in their little digital circles, still running their mouths, still believing they're safe. They have no idea someone opened the door. They have no idea the walls have ears. They have no idea you're already 10 steps ahead of every move they think they're making. Let's talk about what was actually in those messages, shall we? Let's talk about the things they said that they would never have the courage to say to your face. Maybe they called you dramatic, too sensitive, too much. Maybe they laughed about something you trusted them with, something vulnerable you shared thinking it was safe. Maybe they twisted your words into something unrecognizable, created a version of events that never happened just to make themselves look better. Maybe they made jokes at your expense, cheap shots that got likes and laughing emojis from people you thought respected you. Maybe they questioned your intentions, your character, your sanity. Maybe they called you crazy for feeling things you were absolutely right to feel. Maybe they gaslit you collectively, agreeing together that you were the problem while they were the poor victims of your existence. And the thing that stings the most isn't just what they said. It's that they said it together. It's that they built a coalition against you. It's that they found community in your destruction. They bonded over you, strengthened their friendships by weakening yours, created intimacy through shared cruelty. You weren't just betrayed by one person, you were betrayed by a system. A whole network of people decided you were expendable, that your feelings didn't matter, that your absence from their conversations meant you were fair game. They created a version of you that was easier to hate, easier to mock, easier to dismiss. And they fed that version to each other until everyone believed it, until the lie became the truth in their collective consciousness, until there was no room left for the real you in any of their minds. But here's what they forgot. Here's the fatal mistake they made in their arrogance and their cruelty. They forgot that truth has a way of traveling. They forgot that secrets are only as strong as the weakest link in the chain. They forgot that secrets are only as strong as the weakest link in the chain. They forgot that people who betray together will eventually betray each other. They forgot that loyalty built on shared hatred is not loyalty at all. It's a temporary alliance that dissolves the moment there's no common enemy. And most importantly, they forgot that you are not someone who stays down. They thought this would break you. They thought if they isolated you enough, mocked you enough, turned enough people against you, you would just disappear quietly into irrelevance. They thought you would internalize their narrative, believe their lies about yourself, crumble under the weight of social rejection. They were wrong, because you didn't break, you evolved. You didn't crumble, you crystallized. Every lie they told about you became armor. Every joke at your expense became fuel. Every moment they underestimated you became evidence that they never really knew you at all. And now you're standing here with knowledge that could destroy everything they built. You could expose them. You could show the world who they really are when they think no one's watching. You could take screenshots and post them everywhere. You could send them to the people they were talking about. You could blow up their entire social structure with a few taps on a screen. You have that power now. The power to humiliate them the way they tried to humiliate you. The power to isolate them the way they isolated you. The power to show everyone that the people who smiled the brightest had the darkest intentions. But here's the question that's eating at you right now. Do you want revenge or do you want peace? Do you want justice or do you want freedom? Because you can have both, but they don't look the same. Revenge is loud, it's explosive, it's satisfying in the moment, but it chains you to these people forever. It means you still care enough to destroy them, which means they still have power over your emotions, your time, your energy. Peace is quiet. Peace is walking away with the knowledge of who they are and never giving them another moment of your life. Peace is letting them self-destruct without your involvement, because people like that always do. Freedom is realizing that the best revenge isn't matching their energy. It's transcending it completely. It's becoming so focused on your own path that they become irrelevant background noise. It's living so well that your existence becomes the evidence of their failure to break you. But maybe you're not interested in peace right now. Maybe you're interested in consequences. Maybe you think people like this need to learn that actions have repercussions, that words leave scars, that betrayal has a price. And you know what? You're not wrong, because if you do nothing, if you just walk away silently, they'll never learn. They'll keep doing this to other people. They'll keep building their little hate groups and tearing people down and feeling powerful through collective cruelty. They'll never face the mirror. They'll never see themselves as the problem. They'll keep playing victim while creating victims. And maybe, just maybe, you're the one who needs to hold that mirror up. Not for revenge, but for reckoning. Not to destroy them, but to force them to see what they've become. So here's what I want you to understand. Whatever you choose to do with this information, you're not wrong. If you expose them, you're not petty, you're honest. If you confront them, you're not dramatic, you're brave. If you walk away silently, you're not weak, you're wise. If you use this strategically, you're not manipulative, you're tactical. You get to decide what justice looks like, because you're the one who was wronged. You're the one who had to read those messages. You're the one who had to see exactly how little you mattered to people you thought mattered to you. You're the one who has to carry that knowledge now. So whatever you do with it, own it completely. Don't let anyone tell you you're handling it wrong. Don't let anyone shame you for your response to their betrayal. Don't let them flip the script and make you the villain for reacting to the villainy they committed first. And here's what's really happening right now in their world. Someone in that group chat is panicking. Someone knows they snitched, or someone suspects they're the one being suspected. Paranoia is spreading through their ranks like a virus. Trust is eroding. People are going back through old messages, wondering what else might have been shared. Alliances are being questioned. The same people who bonded over betraying you are now wondering who among them can't be trusted. And it's beautiful, isn't it? The way betrayal eats itself. The way people who conspire together eventually turn on each other. They're probably having emergency calls right now, trying to figure out who talked, trying to do damage control, trying to get their story straight before you make a move. And the best part is, you don't even have to do anything. Just your silence is torture for them. Just knowing that you know is enough to make them spiral, because now every interaction with you is loaded. Every time they see you, they're wondering if this is the moment you'll say something. Every casual conversation is a minefield. Every social gathering is a potential exposure event. They can't relax around you anymore. They can't be genuine because they never were. But now they have to work twice as hard to maintain the facade. And you get to watch them squirm. You get to see them perform. You get to witness the effort it takes to pretend they didn't do what they absolutely did. And there's a certain satisfaction in that, isn't there? In knowing that your mere presence makes them uncomfortable. In knowing that they're looking over their shoulder, wondering when the hammer will drop. In knowing that they handed you all the power, and now they're at your mercy. Let me tell you what's going to happen next, regardless of what you choose. Some of them will try to preemptively distance themselves from you. They'll suddenly get busy, stop responding to messages, become unavailable. They think if they pull away first, it'll look less suspicious when everything comes out. Some of them will do the opposite. They'll love bomb you, suddenly become extra friendly, extra attentive, trying to secure your loyalty before you burn the bridge. They'll compliment you, invite you places, act like you're their closest friend. It's all strategy. It's all fear. Some of them will try to test you, drop little hints or ask seemingly innocent questions to gauge what you know. They're fishing for information, trying to figure out how much damage control they need to do. And some of them, the really dangerous ones, will start spreading rumors about you first. They'll try to discredit you before you can discredit them. They'll paint you as unstable, untrustworthy, someone who makes things up or overreacts. They're building a defense before you even attack. Watch them all. Study the different strategies. See who does what, because their response to potential exposure tells you everything about their character. The ones who pull away are cowards. The ones who love bomb are manipulators. The ones who test you are calculating. The ones who attack preemptively are threatened. And the ones who stay exactly the same, the ones who don't change their behavior at all, those are either the most guilty or the most innocent. Pay attention. This is a masterclass in human behavior under pressure. This is psychology in real time. You're watching people reveal who they really are when they think their masks might slip. And you get to decide what to do with that information. You get to be the judge, the jury, the executioner, or the one who walks away from the courtroom entirely. Now let's talk about the person who told you. The one who broke the code, who sent you the screenshots, who gave you access to conversations you were never meant to see. What was their motivation? Was it guilt? Was it genuine care for you? Were they trying to do the right thing? Or was it strategy? Were they kicked out of the group and seeking revenge? Were they trying to position themselves as the good one, the loyal one, the one you can trust? Were they playing both sides, staying in the group while also feeding you information to maintain access to both worlds? You need to think about this carefully. Because the person who brought you the truth might not be doing it for pure reasons. They might have their own agenda. They might be using you as a weapon against people they have their own issues with. They might be trying to cause chaos and watch from a distance. Or they might genuinely care about you and couldn't watch you be deceived anymore. Either way, you owe them something. Gratitude at minimum, caution at maximum. Be grateful for the truth, but don't be naive about the delivery. People rarely do things without benefit to themselves. Even good deeds often have hidden motivations. So, thank them, appreciate them, but keep your guard up. Don't immediately trust them completely just because they told you what others were hiding. Verify everything. Look at the screenshots yourself, check the timestamps, make sure what you're seeing is real and in context and not edited or manipulated. Because in situations like this, everyone has an agenda. Everyone's playing chess, and you need to be 10 moves ahead of all of them, including the person who claims to be helping you. Trust no one completely. Verify everything, move strategically, think 3 steps ahead of every conversation, every interaction, every decision. Here's what I need you to understand about this moment you're in right now. This is a turning point. This is the moment that defines what kind of person you're going to become. You can let this make you bitter, make you closed off, make you someone who never trusts anyone again, or you can let this make you wiser, make you more discerning, make you someone who knows how to read people better and protect your energy more carefully. You can become hard, or you can become strong. Hard means impenetrable, but also brittle, easy to shatter under enough pressure. Strong means flexible, resilient, able to bend without breaking. You've been hurt? That's undeniable. You've been betrayed by multiple people simultaneously? That's a trauma that cuts deep. But you get to decide what grows from that wound. Does bitterness grow, or does wisdom? Does paranoia grow, or does discernment? Does hatred grow, or does boundaries? I vote for wisdom. I vote for discernment. I vote for boundaries. Because the goal here isn't to become like them. The goal isn't to start your own group chat where you tear them apart the way they tore you apart. The goal isn't to match their energy or sink to their level or prove you can be just as cruel. The goal is to rise so far above this that when you look back, they're barely visible. The goal is to become someone who doesn't need to talk behind people's backs, because you have the courage to address issues directly or walk away entirely. The goal is to become someone whose character is so solid that rumors can't touch it, that lies can't stick to it, that betrayal can't break it. And you're already on that path. The fact that you're not immediately reacting, not immediately exploding, not immediately seeking revenge, that shows growth. That shows strength. That shows you're thinking strategically instead of emotionally. Before we begin, let me share something with you. 2 months ago, this channel was demonetized. And as of today, it's still demonetized. No ads, no revenue, just me, you, and the message. But here's the thing, I didn't stop, I didn't quit, I didn't let that silence me. Instead, I did something different. I wrote a book for you. It's called The Joker Doctrine, and it's everything I couldn't fit into these videos. It's a complete guide to self-improvement, human psychology, and the dark truths most people are too afraid to face. Every page is designed to help you understand the game, master your mind, and reclaim your power. This book isn't just content. It's my way of surviving. It's my way of continuing this mission, even when the system tries to shut me down. So if these videos have ever helped you, if this message has ever hit home, Supporting this book supports the channel. It keeps this movement alive. It keeps me creating for you. The link is in the description. Now, let's get into what you came here for. Well, well, well. Look who just got upgraded. Look who just became untouchable. Look who went from being questioned to being quoted. You gorgeous, relentless, misunderstood force of nature. Welcome back. Or maybe I should say, welcome to the plot twist they never saw coming. Because if you're still here, still watching, still breathing after everything they threw at you, then you already know what this is. This is the moment their entire narrative collapsed. This is the moment every source they trusted, every voice they believed, every authority they leaned on to validate their hatred of you just turned around and called you legendary. And oh, the look on their faces. Priceless. Let me paint you a picture so vivid you can taste their confusion. For years, they built their case against you. Brick by brick, lie by lie. They went to everyone. Everyone. Their friends, their mentors, their therapists, their pastors, their colleagues, their favorite podcasters, their internet gurus, everyone they thought would co-sign their version of you. They needed backup. They needed validation. They needed someone, anyone, to look at the evidence and say, yeah, you're right. That person is toxic. That person is dangerous. That person is the problem. And for a while, maybe some people nodded. Maybe some people listened. Maybe some people gave them the temporary comfort of agreement. But here's what they didn't expect. Here's what shattered their entire foundation. Those same sources, those same voices, those same authorities they ran to for validation, they started seeing you for themselves. Not through the filter of bitterness, not through the lens of gossip, not through the distortion of a broken narrative. They saw you, the real you, your work, your character, your consistency, your growth, your grace. And one by one, those sources started saying your name differently. Not with pity, not with concern, not with caution, with respect, with admiration, with awe. They called you brilliant. They called you resilient. They called you rare. And some of them, the ones who really saw it, they called you the standard, the benchmark, the one to watch, the one to learn from, the absolute GOAT. And now those people who spent years trying to convince everyone you were the villain, they're sitting in rooms with the same people they complained to, and those people are praising you publicly, loudly, repeatedly. Imagine that level of humiliation. Imagine sitting across from someone you poured your heart out to, someone you cried to about how terrible you supposedly were, and now they're using you as an example of excellence. They're quoting you in their workshops. They're recommending you to others. They're defending you in spaces you'll never even enter. Your haters didn't just lose the argument, they lost their witnesses. Their evidence turned into your endorsement. Their accusations became your accolades. Every single person they thought would validate their bitterness ended up validating your greatness instead. That's not just a loss. That's a complete psychological unraveling. That's their reality collapsing in real time. And the best part, the most delicious part, you didn't have to say a word. You didn't have to defend yourself. You didn't have to play their game. You just kept moving, kept building, kept becoming. And the truth did what truth always does. It revealed itself. Not on your timeline, not on theirs, but on its own terms, undeniable and absolute. Now, let's dig deeper into the layers of this beautiful disaster they created for themselves. Because this wasn't just about gossip. This wasn't just about a few whispered complaints. No, they turned you into a full-blown case study. They made you their obsession. They studied your patterns like detectives. They analyzed your words like prosecutors. They dissected your actions like surgeons looking for disease. And they took all of that, all of those notes, all of those observations, and they presented them to people they trusted. People with influence, people with authority, people whose opinions mattered. They thought if they could just get these respected voices to agree with them, then their version of you would become the truth. Then they could finally rest, finally move on, finally feel justified in cutting you off, in talking about you, and painting you as the problem. But here's what they forgot. Here's what shattered their plan into a million irreparable pieces. Authorities don't just listen to accusations. Real authorities investigate. Real wisdom doesn't co-sign bitterness. Real discernment doesn't trust one side of a story. So when your haters brought their case, those sources didn't just take their word for it. They watched you from a distance. They observed you over time. They saw how you carried yourself when no one was clapping. They saw how you responded when the lies were loud. They saw your work ethic, your consistency, your refusal to play dirty, your ability to rise without stepping on anyone. And slowly, quietly, their opinion shifted. Not because you campaigned for it, not because you begged for it, but because excellence speaks for itself. Integrity announces itself. Character proves itself. And you, whether you knew it or not, were proving yourself every single day. And now those authorities, the very people your haters thought would destroy your reputation, are the ones building it instead. They're the ones opening doors for you. They're the ones saying your name in rooms you haven't entered yet. They're the ones recommending you, defending you, celebrating you, not because they feel sorry for you, not because they're naive, but because they see what's real. And what's real is undeniable. You're not perfect. You never claimed to be, but you're pure in your intentions. You're consistent in your values. You're relentless in your growth. And people who operate at a higher level, people who've seen enough of life to know the difference between performance and substance, they recognize that. They honor that. They protect that. So now your haters are stuck in the worst possible position. They can't talk to their trusted sources about you anymore, because those sources will correct them. Those sources will challenge them. Those sources will say, actually, I've been watching them, and I think you might have gotten this one wrong. Imagine that moment. Imagine the person you vented to for years suddenly becoming your opposition, suddenly questioning your judgment, suddenly making you feel like maybe, just maybe, you were the problem all along. That's the prison they built for themselves. And there's no escape, because the more you rise, the more their sources praise you. The more you succeed, the more their authorities validate you. And the more that happens, the more isolated they become in their bitterness. They're not just losing you, they're losing everyone who ever agreed with them. That's poetic destruction. Let's talk about what this does to their psychology, their sense of reality, their grip on control. Because for years, they controlled the narrative. They were the ones telling your story. They were the ones shaping how people saw you. They had the power, they had the microphone, they had the audience. And that gave them comfort. It gave them purpose. It gave them a twisted sense of victory. But now, that power is gone, ripped away, not by you, not by some dramatic confrontation, but by the simple, unavoidable truth that people with real discernment can't be fooled forever. You see, they thought credibility was built through volume, through repetition, through convincing enough people to believe their version. But real credibility isn't built through campaigning. It's built through consistency. And you were consistent when they were chaotic. You were steady when they were spiraling. You were building when they were complaining. And the people who matter, the people with influence, the people with platforms, they saw that. They didn't need you to explain yourself. Your life explained you. Your results defended you. Your character spoke louder than their accusations ever could. And now they're sitting in the wreckage of their own strategy. They wanted to isolate you, but they isolated themselves. They wanted to discredit you, but they discredited their own judgment. They wanted to make sure no one trusted you, and instead, they lost the trust of everyone who once listened to them. Because here's the thing about people who obsess over tearing someone else down. Eventually, people start wondering why. Eventually, people start questioning the obsession. Eventually, people start seeing the bitterness, the jealousy, the unhealed wounds driving the narrative. And once that happens, once people see the motive behind the accusations lose all their power. Now those sources they trusted, those authorities they leaned on, they're not just praising you, they're distancing themselves from your haters. They're quietly, sometimes not so quietly, making it clear that they don't share that opinion, that they don't support that perspective, that they see something different. And that's the final blow. That's the moment your haters realize they didn't just lose you. They lost their credibility, they lost their coalition, they lost their case, and they can't get it back. Because you can't unring a bell. You can't undo a reputation shift. You can't convince people to unsee what they've already seen. Your excellence is now a permanent part of the record, and their bitterness is now a permanent part of theirs. The sources they trusted didn't betray them. The sources they trusted simply saw the truth. And the truth is, you were never the villain. You were the standard they couldn't reach, the mirror they couldn't face, the lesson they refused to learn. And now everyone knows it. Not because you told them, but because your life showed them. That's the kind of victory you can't buy, you can't fake, you can't force. It just is. And it's devastating to everyone who tried to stop it. Let's peel back one more layer, because this goes deeper than reputation. This cuts into identity. Your haters didn't just disagree with you. They built their entire sense of self around being right about you. They shaped their worldview, their friendships, their decisions around the belief that you were the problem. That belief became their foundation. It gave them clarity. It gave them purpose. It gave them something to rally around. And now that foundation is crumbling because the people they thought would validate that belief are doing the opposite. They're celebrating you. And that creates a crisis. A deep, existential, can't sleep at night crisis. Because if they were wrong about you, what else were they wrong about? If the sources they trusted see you as legendary, does that mean their judgment is flawed? Does that mean their perception is distorted? Does that mean they've been living in a delusion? These are the questions haunting them now, and they can't escape them. Because every time your name comes up, every time someone praises you, every time one of their trusted sources defends you, it's a reminder, a painful, unavoidable reminder that they got it wrong. And people don't handle that well, especially people who've invested years into being right. So they double down, they get defensive, they try to explain why those sources are wrong, why those authorities don't see the full picture, why the praise you're getting is undeserved. But the more they do that, the more desperate they sound, the more isolated they become. The more people start seeing them as the bitter one, the jealous one, the one who can't let go. And that's the trap they set for themselves. They thought exposing you would free them, but it imprisoned them. They thought tearing you down would lift them up, but it buried them. They thought controlling the narrative would give them peace, but it gave them torment. Because now they're watching you rise in real time, and they can't stop it. They can't slow it. They can't even critique it without sounding obsessed. You're untouchable now. Not because you're perfect, but because you're proven. And that proof didn't come from you. It came from the very people they thought would destroy you. That's the ultimate reversal. That's the checkmate they never saw coming. Now let's talk about what happens next, because this story isn't over. It's just beginning. Those sources that called you legendary, they're not done. They're going to keep talking. They're going to keep recommending you. They're going to keep opening doors, creating opportunities, putting your name in spaces your haters will never access. And every time that happens, it's another crack in their narrative, another piece of their worldview shattering, another reminder that they lost. But here's the beautiful part. You don't even have to think about them anymore. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to correct the record. You don't have to prove anything, because the record is correcting itself. The truth is proving itself. And you just get to keep building, keep creating, keep rising. Keep becoming the version of yourself that makes their accusations look ridiculous in hindsight. That's the power of living in integrity. That's the power of refusing to engage in their chaos. That's the power of letting your work speak louder than their words. You didn't need to fight back. You needed to keep going. And you did. And now, the results are undeniable. The sources they trusted see it. The authorities they leaned on confirm it. The people they thought would validate their bitterness are validating your brilliance instead. And there's nothing, absolutely nothing they can do about it. That's not just victory, that's legacy. That's the kind of win that echoes for years, that changes how people see you. That rewrites the entire narrative. And the best part? You earned it. Not through manipulation, not through politics, not through playing their game, but through consistency, through character, through refusing to let their noise drown out your purpose. Let's zoom out for a second and see the full picture, because this isn't just about your haters losing. This is about you winning in a way they can't even comprehend. You see, when those sources started calling you legendary, it wasn't just a compliment, it was a declaration. It was a statement that you operate on a level they don't understand, that you've achieved something they can't replicate, that you've built something they can't tear down, and that's what eats at them the most. Not that you survived their attacks, but that you thrived in spite of them. Not that you defended yourself, but that you didn't need to. Not that you proved them wrong, but that life proved them wrong without you lifting a finger. You became the evidence, the living, breathing, undeniable proof that their version of you was fiction. And now they have to live with that. They have to watch you succeed. They have to hear your name praised. They have to see their trusted sources celebrate you, and they can't do anything about it. They can't rewrite history. They can't undo the damage. They can't reclaim the narrative. It's gone, and it's never coming back. Because once people see the truth, once people recognize excellence, once people witness real character, they don't unsee it. They don't forget it. They don't question it. They respect it. They honor it. They protect it. And that's what you've earned. Not through begging, not through convincing, but through being, through showing up, through staying true, through refusing to compromise who you are for people who never deserved access to you in the first place. Now let's talk about the long-term psychological toll this takes on them, because this isn't a one-time embarrassment. This is a permanent shift. Every time they see you succeed, it's a reminder. Every time they hear your name, it's a wound reopening. Every time someone they respect praises you, it's salt in that wound. And it's not going to stop, because you're not slowing down, you're not plateauing, you're not fading, you're accelerating, you're expanding. You're becoming more of who you were always meant to be. And the more you become that, the more their narrative falls apart, the more their bitterness looks foolish, the more their obsession looks pathetic. They wanted to bury you, but they gave you fertilizer. They wanted to break you, but they built your endurance. They wanted to expose you, but they revealed their own insecurity. And now they're stuck watching the consequences of their own actions play out in real time. That's the thing about karma. It doesn't need your help. It doesn't need your revenge. It doesn't need your anger. It just needs time. And time has spoken. Time has revealed. Time has decided. And the verdict is clear. You were always the one, the real one, the rare one. The one they should have celebrated instead of criticized. The one they should have learned from instead of tried to destroy. But they were too blinded by ego, too consumed by jealousy, too trapped in their own limitations to see it. And now it's too late. The sources have spoken, the authorities have decided. The narrative has shifted, and they're on the outside looking in, watching you claim everything they said you'd never have. That's not just poetic justice. That's absolute annihilation of their entire worldview. Let me take you even deeper, because there's a layer here most people miss. When those sources called you legendary, when those authorities praised you, it wasn't just about skill or success. It was about something they saw in you that your haters couldn't destroy, something untouchable, something authentic. See, people at a certain level of discernment, people who've lived long enough to see through masks, they don't just look at what you do, they look at why you do it. They look at how you carry yourself when no one's watching. They look at your energy, your spirit, your essence. And they saw something in you that can't be faked, a purity of intention, a consistency of character, a refusal to compromise your values for approval. That's what they called legendary. Not just your achievements, but the foundation those achievements were built on. And your haters, they can't replicate that. They can't fake that. They can't perform that. Because it's not a strategy, it's not a technique, it's not a persona, it's who you are. And that's why their accusations never stuck. That's why their narratives always fell apart. That's why the people who really looked at you saw through their lies immediately. Because lies can't survive scrutiny, but truth gets stronger the more it's examined. And you were examined, heavily, relentlessly, by people with real discernment, and you passed every test, not because you were trying to, but because you couldn't fail a test of authenticity when you're actually authentic. That's the difference between you and them. They perform, you exist. They pretend, you embody. They need validation, you create value. And that gap, that unbridgeable gap, is why they lost and you won.